Welcome to the Literate Ghost. My hobby is collecting classic ghost stories. If you're watching this video, there's a pretty good chance that you're also a fan of classic ghost stories. And if you're anything else like me, you may find that the most difficult part of reading these stories is actually finding the time to sit down and read them. So I've put together a series of videos to introduce, or perhaps reintroduce, some awesome classic ghost stories that even the most time-constrained reader should be able to squeeze into a tight schedule. I call this series Small Doses. Our first story is a very short little tale from English author Bernard Capes, The Thing in the Forest. A peasant woman traveling home on a cold winter's day, a bit later than she ought, is confronted by a supernatural beast. Her kindly nature compels her to take pity on the creature and offer it food, even though she realizes that this is forbidden. But can it be a sin to have compassion for the damned? Somewhere the sun, like a dead fire, had fallen into opalescent embers, faintly luminous. They were enough only to touch the shadows with a ghastlier pallor. It was so still that the light crunch in the snow of the girl's own footfalls trod on her heart like a desecration. Suddenly there was something near her that had not been before. It had come like a shadow, without more sound or warning. It was here, there, behind her. She turned in mortal panic and saw a wolf. With a strangled cry and trembling limbs, she strove to hurry on her way, and always she knew, though there was no whisper of pursuit, that the gliding shadow followed in her wake. Desperate in her terror, she stopped once more and faced it. A wolf. Was it a wolf? Oh, could doubt it. Yet the wild expression in those famished eyes, so lost, so pitiful, so mingled of insatiable hunger and human need, condemned for its unspeakable sins to take this form with sunset, and so howl and snuffle about the doors of men until the blessed day released it. A werewolf, not a wolf. Next up, a short and very sweet yet foreboding story from English author Edith Nisbet, Uncle Abram's Romance. Old Uncle Abram's niece is of a romantic nature. She asks him to relate the story of his only passionate encounter. For even though he had been lame all his life, and the girls used to tease him, he did in fact fall in love once, long ago, although he is not certain that this tale counts as a romance. She never would tell me her name, and why should she? I had names enough in my heart to call her by. Marriage? My dear, even then I knew marriage was not for me. But I met her night after night, always in our churchyard, where the yew trees were and the lichened gravestones. It was there we always met, and always parted. The last time was the night before I went away. She was very sad, and dearer than life itself. And she said, "If you come back before the new moon, I shall meet you here just as usual. But if the new moon shines on this grave, and you are not here, you will never see me again anymore." Our next story is another short tale from American author Ambrose Bierce, Charles Ashmore's Trail. Bierce was well known for his tales of mysterious disappearances, sometimes delving into almost science fiction territory with some of them. In this story, a young man seems to simply disappear into thin air, or at very least, a different dimension. On the evening of the 9th of November in 1878, at about 9 o'clock, young Charles Ashmore left the family circle about the hearth, took a tin bucket, and started toward the spring. As he did not return, the family became uneasy, and going to the door by which he had left the house, his father called without receiving an answer. He then lighted a lantern, and, with the eldest daughter Martha, went in search. A light snow had fallen, obliterating the path, but making the young man's trail conspicuous. After going a little more than halfway, the father, who was in advance, halted, and, elevating his lantern, stood peering intently into the darkness ahead. "What's the matter, father?" the girl asked. This was the matter. The trail of the young man had abruptly ended, and all beyond was smooth, unbroken snow. Coming up next, we have a short classic vampire tale from Scottish author Hume Nisbet, The Vampire Maid. A young man grown weary of city society decides to travel far from home, where he finds a little cottage in which he decides to stay for a while. Here he begins to fall hopelessly in love with the mysterious daughter of his landlady, although he's not certain as to why. I had come here seeking solitude, but since I had seen Ariadne, it seemed as if I had come for her only. She was not very lively. Indeed, thinking back, I cannot recall any spontaneous remark of hers. She answered my questions by monosyllables, and left me to lead in words. Yet she was insinuating, and appeared to lead my thoughts in her direction, and speak to me with her eyes. I cannot describe her minutely. I only know that from the first glance and touch she gave me, I was bewitched and could think of nothing else. Our final story for today is one of the most well-known on this list, a short little tale from the English master of the classic ghost story, M.R. James, a school story. A man relates a strange story from his school days some 30 years previous, about the unusual disappearance of one of his teachers, Mr. Sampson. It all began with the mysterious, threatening messages, both written in Latin. The first being, "Remember the well among the 4 U's," and the second, "If you don't come to me, I'll come to you." I asked him what he had heard or seen. "I didn't hear anything at all," he said. "But about 5 minutes before I woke you, I found myself looking out this window here, and there was a man sitting or kneeling on Samson's windowsill and looking in, and I thought he was beckoning." "What sort of man?" McLeod wriggled. "I don't know," he said, "but I can tell you one thing. He was beastly thin, and he looked as if he was wet all over. And," he said, looking round and whispering as if he hardly liked to hear himself, "I'm not at all sure that he was alive." Next day, Mr. Sampson was gone. All of the stories featured in this video are available online on the Literate Ghost website at theliterateghost.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
Subscribe.